The origin of Halloween?
I got you.
It started doing...
Well, my dad told me when I was little that Halloween...
Used to be All Hallows Eve, where like the dead ghosts would like party with the living people, but the living people were like really intoxicated from last night, so they were like, "Nah, I'm good," and they were like, "Let's get the spirits to get out of here." So they'd wear really scary masks.
So they could scare like the goblins and the goons away from the villages.
Which doesn't really make sense because the ghosts are scary. It's just like normal for them at that point.
I honestly don't know about the origin. I don't know where it came from. Like, was it a different type of tradition before the candy and costumes got involved, or?
I know that back in Ireland, they would carve out like cucumbers and stuff and put candles in them. And eventually at some point they were like, man, this would be a lot easier if they were bigger. So they started using pumpkins instead.
I know that it was originally created by the Celtics, and it was used as a means to stop spirits from basically killing off all their crops and invading their homes.
Yes, most of this is correct. Halloween was just slang for Hallows Eve, or Hallows Evening, which is a Christian holiday for All Saints' Day. All of this originated around Ireland, Great Britain, and northern France in the 18th century as a pagan tradition that Celtic celebrated called the Samhain Festival. In the Samhain Festival, they made bonfires and danced around in fur coats to scare off the spirits that came from the dead, because they believed that those spirits came to cause trouble and trash their crops. Yet the Celtic would also dress to disguise themselves for their pagan priests to use the spiritual power to predict the status of the next harvest. It was Gregory III, a Christian pope, who made the holiday All Saints' Day on November 1st to replace the pagan tradition, but that didn't help. They just decided to celebrate both holidays. This holiday came to America during the immigration when the Irish came over and shared this tradition. Originally, jack-o'-lanterns were carved turnips. After the immigration, the Irish were introduced with pumpkins and was a better option because it was much easier to carve. America first saw this holiday as more of a fun activity than a serious tradition, more about the tricks than the treats, until the 1950s when Halloween became a family-friendly holiday to participate. Trick-or-treating may have originated by an English tradition when people would go around the neighborhood and ask for soul cakes. In return, a form of performance was made, which is called souling, or could have also been the Irish activity of guising, which is the same concept except they would accept food and money and or wine. Halloween is dark and creepy as representation of the end of the harvest, when plants die for the winter and when the dead come back to haunt you. This is Alondra reporting for CTV.